Once they have promised exam is going to happen on that, they can postpone, they will never prepone. Okay, that has never happened in the history of CA. All right then. Okay guys, so you can hear me, see me, and see the board, right? Loud and clear. So today we have changed some certain settings also, so should stream faster for you guys, hopefully, and that would make a lot of sense. And guys, just a humble request, if everyone can join before 4:05 would be really great, because I have to be clicking each and everyone admit. Okay, today we are going to see one of the most interesting chapters in economics, that is microeconomics. Oh, 1 second. All right then. So can we start for the day? Yes. We'll wait for another 1 minute. That's it. So we successfully completed one chapter. Today we are going to see this chapter 2, unit 1, that is demand. So that is the objective for today. So demand is one of the logicalest, easiest chapter. It's very, if you understand the logic, you'll understand demand, right? And it's going to be very interesting, this chapter. Hope you are ready and geared to learn these things, right? And we'll be answering a lot of questions. So 35 to 40 marks are asked from chapter 2, that is demand, supply, and consumer behavior. So majority come from demand, right? So this is a very important chapter from exam point of view. So get all your doubts clarified, so that we are very thorough with all the concepts, right? So today in this unit, you'll be learning on this. You will not be learning all these things today. Yes, coming to the question, homework question. See this cute little baby, right? So normally when you are also small, right? I want it, right? I want it. That is demand for your understanding. Yes or no? That's your analysis of demand. Is that demand? Because you're demanding, you feel that is demand? The answer is, you have to be telling no or yes. Now, let's take another scenario. Let's say there's wonderful car, Lamborghini, right? You want it. So Lamborghini will, company will start, oh, okay. Arivu Pro CA students want this Lamborghini car. Start producing. Yes or no? Why? Or he comes. He's like, I want it. So should his demand be considered as demand for Lamborghini cars? Think about it. What is demand? If I want, someone is saying demand is a desire. Yes, Thanos is desiring for the car. So Lamborghini car manufacturer, should he or she produce a car for him? Right? He has to, companies have to predict the demand, right? For it to be, what do you say, to manufacture, then produce it and give it to the customers. Otherwise, there'll be shortage if you do not forecast your demand properly. So someone is saying a desire, ability to purchase. Okay, done. So few of you guys have nailed it. Yes. So certain points which we have to consider when we talk about demand in economics, friends. Very important points. The first point we have to talk about when it comes to demand is you should have the desire. So I want to buy that car. That desire should be there. That's the first point of demand. The second point is you should have the money to buy that product. Second point is money to buy the product or resource to buy the product, I can say. Or I can also say it as ability to buy the product. Can I say these things in a different ways? Yes or no? No. That is second term. Okay. What is the third condition for demand? You should be willing to use the money to buy the car. Are we clear? You should be willing to use the money to buy the car. Then only it will be effective demand. So I'll give you another example for you, right? Let's say iPhone 10. Let me take myself as an example, right? I want to buy iPhone 10. I have the money to buy the iPhone 10. But I am not willing to pay 1 lakh to buy the iPhone 10. So would I constitute demand for iPhone 10? The answer is no. Three conditions have to be satisfied for it to constitute demand. That is desire, I should have money. Third thing, I should be willing to use that money to buy that product. Then only it constitutes demand. See, demand cannot be studied isolated. Okay, I have desire to buy. I have the money. I have the willingness. For what price do you have the money for? Right? There should be a price for which money should be there or you're willing to pay. Right? You will be willing to pay for the phone, iPhone. Okay, 50,000 I'm willing to pay. For that particular price, I have a demand for iPhone. But for 1 lakh, I might not have. So you have demand is always represented for a price. Are we clear? Second thing is for a particular period of time. When are you interested in buying? Time period is also, I might be interested now. Later, I might not be interested. Or I might buy, 10 kgs of tomatoes per day or per month. The time period is very important. So, my dear friends, these constitute effective demand, that is desire, money, willingness to spend. But demand is always represented for a particular price and for a particular time period. Are we clear with the concept of demand? Are we 100% clear with the concept of demand? So three things have to be satisfied for a particular price and particular period of time. then only I constitute a demand for a product. Because you like something doesn't mean it's a demand in economics. Are we clear? So we saw that demand is represented for a time period. Can you explain the last one once again? The time period, right? So someone has asked me, can you explain the last for a particular price and a particular time? See, demand is always represented for a particular price, guys. Very important to understand. If I sell it at 10 rupees, there will be a particular demand. If I sell it for 11 rupees, there will be a change in demand, right? Quantity demanded. So demand is always represented in price, and it is represented for a period of time. Today, are you interested in buying today? It should be connected with time period. That is what this last point is talking about. Okay, you will have clarity once I take on the other topics. Don't worry. Now, because it is time period, right? Try to understand. I'll demand 5 kgs of tomato every month, right? Every month. That is it an isolated purchase or continuous purchase? It's a continuous purchase. Every month I'll buy 5 kg. That is why we say quantity demanded is a flow concept. It is continuous. That is why we call it as flow concept. Are we clear? It is not isolated purchase. It is a continuous purchase. Now, I want you to answer this question. Take your time, read through it, and answer this question, so that I understand you have understood demand. Think of it very carefully, guys. 3 conditions for 2 things. 5 conditions have to be satisfied: desire, willingness, ability to pay, time, and period. I want everyone to participate on the poll. 42 people are attending on Zoom. I want everyone to answer on the poll, please. Please don't be a sitting participant. Be an active participant. Very important for this. All of you have to understand demand, because economics will build slowly. Slowly it will complicate if you do not understand. Are we clear? So answer is D. Guys, quantity of a commodity demanded. We saw demand as 3 components, right? That is desire, money, and willingness to use it. And it is always represented for a certain price and for a particular period of time. So this is what a complete definition would be. Are we clear? This does not, the first one, whoever has answered first and second, where is the for a particular price, is not showing for a particular price, or it is not per particular period of time. It's not showing that. So it's incomplete. The answer is D. Good. I want you to answer the next question. It is this one. 1 second, guys. Yes. Please answer this question. Read it carefully. This is a concept which is not yet taught, but this will lead to another concept. So the answer for this is B. Okay. Actually, they are talking about law of demand. That is the next topic. If you have not got it right, this just to test how many people have really understood what to say or have studied economics. So it'll really help me to gauge. So don't worry if you have got it wrong. This was not the question to be answered correctly. Now we will come to a most important topic under demand. Law of demand. You would have studied law of demand. Even I would have talked and spoken about this law of demand in a lot of places. See, law of demand is very simple. What does it say? It says ceteris paribus. What is this ceteris paribus? Let's try to understand. All factors are constant. All factors affecting demand are constant. Constant means fixed, free, frozen. If that is the condition, what they are saying is price goes up. That is, price goes up, right? Demand will fall down. That is what law of demand saying, or vice versa also. Vice versa means the reverse wise. Okay. If price goes down, demand will go up. Are we clear with the concept? This is what law of demand says. If price goes up, demand will come down. If price goes down, demand will rise. It's a very simple concept. Let's take an example of my dear friend. Let's say our dear friend, cute little friend, likes milk, chocolate milk. Okay, he likes chocolate milk. Now, if price goes up, he might not be able to afford it. He might go away. I don't want chocolate milk. Yes, if you would have seen, right? Your favorite shoes or clothes is very costly. I will not buy. Then later, price comes down. Let's say they give an offer, 50% offer on your chocolate milk. What you will do? You'll come back and drink, or you'll buy that shoe or your clothes, the favorite clothes. So what did you see here? Right? What did you see? Certain things. If price went up, right, demand goes down. This we call it as inverse relationship. I'll repeat again. Price goes up, demand falls down. We call this as inverse relationship. Why inverse relationship? One variable is going up, the other variable is coming down. Then we call them inversely proportionate. Are we clear? Same wise, if this goes down, price goes down, demand will increase, right? That is why we say they are inversely proportional. If someone says you that this is inversely proportional, that means if something increases, the other things falls down. Are we clear? Guys, DD means demand, short form, pet name for demand. Okay, I call it DD. Done. Full form of DD is demand. Okay, I'll take some questions. Inverse proportionate, sir. I guess it has been thought. Demand is constant. No, demand need not be constant. We saw here, no? Price went up, demand is coming down. How is it constant here? Right? Now, I want you to see this video. right? It will clarify a lot of questions of yours. Let's visualize it rather than having imagination.
In the demand curve, we are trying to find out what's the relationship between price and the quantity that's demanded. Let's make it really simple by keeping everything else constant. That means ceteris paribus. Given everything else constant, let's freeze them. Wow, only price and quantity left.
Okay, if you see here, the other factors are there, right? Price of complements, price of substitute, exceptions, expectations, income, preferences, ceteris paribus. That's what I was talking about. Even the video said ceteris paribus. That means all are frozen. They remain. Nothing changes. The only factor which changes price and quantity demanded here.
With these two variables, we can draw two axes. The convention is to put the price on the vertical axis and the quantity on the horizontal axis. Remember,
so the convention means as a rule of law, a rule of convenience. Okay, they put y-axis, they plot price as y-axis, quantity demanded. The word quantity demanded as in the x-axis.
As consumers, we want to stretch our dollar. At $2, ew, apples are expensive. We'll only get one apple. But at $1, whoa, apples are cheaper now. We'll get 3 apples. Then we connect the dots. Ta-da! The demand curve. Note, it's downward sloping. When price increases, quantity demanded decreases. When price decreases, quantity increases. The arrows are always in opposite directions. This is the law of demand. There's an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, ceteris paribus, given everything else constant. Why? First, it's because of substitution effect. When apples get more expensive, we substitute apples with something else, like oranges, so we buy fewer apples. There's also the income effect. Given the same income, when apples get more expensive, our purchasing power erodes. We feel our wallets shrinking. Remember the summary from the previous video? Why did I state
Okay, done. Are we clear with law of demand and how it has been, what's the inverse relationship concept? Any questions before I move on? Now, coming to the point, rational of law of demand. What is rational of law of demand? Nothing but logic behind law of demand. What is the logic behind law of demand? The first one is law of diminishing marginal utility. Guys, this topic I will cover after I teach this concept. Okay, I'll tell you under the chapter consumer behavior. We'll be studying in that time. I'll connect it with that time. Now, second reason is price effect. Like the video you saw, right? It spoke about price effect is nothing but is made up of substitution effect and income effect, right? In the video you saw, if prices of apples went up, they substitute with oranges because they satisfy with almost the same needs. Both are fruits, right? That is called as substitution effect. Second thing, income effect. Now, if prices fall, right? Let's say your income is 1,000 rupees, right? Now, prices fall. Apples are costing, before it was costing 200 rupees. Now it's costing you 100 rupees. Although your income levels have been the same, because of fall in price, you can afford to buy more of it. Yes or no? So you normally tend to, it will induce you to buy more. It's cheaper only, no? Buy and keep. What's wrong? That effect is known as income effect. Are we clear with the concept? Any doubts? So price effect means, price effect is made up of two types: substitution effect and income effect. Okay. Substitution effect means, if let's say there is Pepsi and Coke, both are sold at 10 rupees. 1 second. So there is Pepsi and Coke. Both are sold at 10 rupees. Now, price of Coke is falling down. Price of Coke is falling down to 5 rupees. Now, isn't it cheaper? Right? Isn't it cheaper? Coke now is cheaper than Pepsi. Won't you substitute Pepsi with Coke now? This is known of it. I'll play the video again. Just listen to it very carefully. Right? I'll just forward to that.
In the demand curve,
Forward it to the
in the demand curve, trying to find out what's the relationship between price and the quantity that's demanded. Let's make it really simple by keeping ceteris paribus, given everything else constant. Why? First, it's because of substitution effect. When apples get more expensive, we substitute apples with something else, like oranges, so we buy fewer apples. There's also the income effect. Given the same income, when apples get more expensive, our purchasing power erodes. We feel our wallets shrinking. Remember the summary from the previous video?
Guys, are we clear with the concept of income effect and substitution effect? So income effect, understand one more thing. Your income determines your purchasing power. Your income determines your purchasing power. What does purchasing power means? The ability to purchase. Okay. Now, your purchasing power can also be called as real income. Okay. So your purchasing power is also called as real income. So when a price of a commodity falls, your real income increases because you can purchase more of that commodity. Are we clear? Done. Now, arrival of new customers. We'll see the logic behind 3. You would have also seen that there's a shop there near your house, right? You like the collections there, but you don't go inside the shop. You do window shopping. You're like, it's nice because it's too costly for me, right? When the price falls, what will you do? You'll go inside, you'll go inside and buy goods. Yes or no? So aren't you a new customer for that? So because someone lowers the price, you go and purchase. So new customers come in. Are we clear with the third point? The fourth point is different users. Different users. Now take an example of olive oil. olive oil is a very expensive oil. You use it for only certain medical purposes or certain auspicious purposes, right? Or very only costly people use it. They don't use it for normal air massage and all. Because that is costly. Now let's say olive oil prices falls. What will you do? You will use it for cooking. You will use it for head massage, body massage. Yes or no? Because it can be used for more purposes. Your mind will tell, instead of buying normal oil, I'll buy olive oil itself, put it for my head. It's good for my head and skin. It'll glow. I'll do facial for me. Yes or no? So if a product has different uses, if prices come down, demand will go higher. Are we clear with the concepts? Any doubts? Any doubts before I move on? Done. I want you to answer this question. Please answer this question. Take your time, read it carefully. I want everyone to participate in this. Come on, guys. Guys, others are not participating. 10 people. Why not? You are not visible on my screen. Maybe you turned it off camera. Just check your camera, Sukant. Or just call the customer. The office helpline. They'll help you. Okay, guys. Answer the other question now. Yeah. Oh, sorry. For the answer for this, the answer is B, guys. Okay. The answer is B. Now, moving on. 76 people have got it right. Okay. Anyhow, we'll move on with the next question. I want you to answer this question. Please answer this question. Read it carefully. When the total demand for a commodity whose price has fallen increases, it is due to what? Kumar, you would have skipped the poll. What you do is under the video, there'll be the poll. You can take it again. No issues, Kumar. Okay. If you skip the poll also, you can take it. Okay, guys. The answer for this is price effect. Guys, those who have answered 1 and 2, see, guys, price effect is nothing but a combination of income and substitution effect. Okay. So price effect is nothing but substitution and income effect put together. So the answer here is price effect, D. Okay, please correct yourself, whoever those guys who have answered 1 and 2. Now, answer this question, guys. The last one. I've told you about this. What is real income? Real income means purchasing power. Do you remember that? Income is different from real income, guys. Those who are answering, who are answered, understand that income is different from real income here. Real income talks about your purchasing power. We discussed, right, under income effect. So think about it and answer. So the answer for this is A. Answer for this question is A, guys. Reason being is we discussed when prices of a commodity fall, your real income, your purchasing power increases. If your purchasing power increases, I told you, your real increases. Are we clear with the concept? Those who have got it wrong, only 50% of the crowd got it right. So only 50% of the crowd got it right. So be very careful on this question. Okay. Listen to all the words which I say because everything is an important parameter. Done. No issues. Everything must remain constant, sir. Yes. This is law of demand talks about everything remains constant. Okay. Now we'll go to a concept. See, we know that demand is always represented in different prices, right? Let's see all the prices. At 5 rupees, I demand 10 units. At 5 rupees, I demand 10 units. At 4 rupees, I demand 15 units. So if you see, there is a, like I increase the price or decrease the price, the quantity demanded increases or decreases based on that. So on different combination of prices, different quantity of demanded is demanded. Now, I put it in a tabular column. This I call it as demand schedule. This I put it in a tabular column, like what is presented here. This is called a demand schedule. Now, this is a demand schedule for an individual customer. This is a demand schedule for an individual customer. Now, in a market, will only one customer be there or many more? There'll be many more customers, right? So, if you see here, there are PQR customers. Now, they demand differently. Their quantity demanded for each price varies. Units at 5. So different people. So when we add all these things, right? When we add 10 plus 8 plus 12, we get a market demand. This is nothing but market demand. Are we clear? Are we clear with the market demand concept? And I put it in a schedule. This is a market demand schedule. Now, let's take this, right? And let's, you want me to repeat again? Okay, I'll repeat it again. See, PQR is there, right? these are different individuals, different human beings, assume. So they demand for different prices, different units on their own. So if you take P at 3 rupees, if the product is priced at 3 rupees, he demands 20, whereas Q demands 17, whereas R will demand 23 of all the units. So my friend, you will, let's say I have to give you ice cream, right? Someone is selling ice cream. You might, for 10 rupees, you will buy 2 ice creams. I like ice creams. So I might buy 4 ice creams at 10 rupees, right? At 50 rupees, you will not buy ice cream at all. But I might buy 1 ice cream. That is how it is plotted. And when I add your demand and my demand, right? If we are there in the market, right? Only we both are there in the market, that becomes the market demand. I'm adding everything and making it. So 23 plus 17 plus 20 becomes 60 as the market demand for rupees 3. Are we clear? Now, coming to this schedule, right? You know, mathematics you have studied. If something is given in a table, you can represent it in a curve or in a graph, right? That is what they have represented. If you see 5 rupees, 10 units, right? 5 rupees. Price is in y-axis, x is in, quantity demanded in x-axis. For 5 rupees, they demand 10 quantity. For 4 rupees, they demand, 3 rupees, they demand 20 quantity. So I represent the schedule in graphical terms. I call it as demand curve. Now, if you look at this curve, economics, lot of questions asked. They ask about curves. They'll ask you, how does the curve look? Which of the followings are a demand curve? What are the properties of a demand curve? Right? That is what we are going to study. Now, if you see the curve, right, isn't it downward sloping? Isn't it downward sloping? That is what they are saying. Demand curve, it's a downward sloping curve. Reason being, when quantity demanded will increase as the prices fall. Quantity demanded increases as prices fall. That is why it gives you a downward shape. Are we clear with this concept? Now, listen to me very carefully here. Demand curve is also known as negative slope. Demand curve is also known as negative slope. Why negative slope? Because what are the variables here? Price and quantity demanded, right? I told you price and quantity demanded here are inversely proportionate. What is inversely proportionate? If price increases, demand falls, right? So if they are inversely proportionate, it causes a negative slope. That is why we call demand curve as a negative slope. Are we clear, guys? Any questions? I will take some questions if you have questions. Just digest the facts. If you have any questions, let me know. All clear? Head and shoulders clear. Done. And explain the slope. Which slope you want? Downward sloping slope or negative slope? Downward sloping. Okay. See, if you see this curve itself, isn't it downward sloping? It's going downwards, right? That's what they are saying also. Why is it downward sloping? If you see here, price is falling down. Okay, that itself is downward. And you see quantity demanded is increasing. Because of this property, right, it is a downward sloping curve. Is demand curve a freehand curve or a scale is required for it? So whatever is demand schedule, right, that is what you're plotting, Ashish Sharma. Okay, so you see here, right, so you analyze the market, you plot it. Okay, if I price it at 5 rupees, 10 quantity will be demanded. If I price it at 3 rupees, 20 quantity demanded. So you plot it into a schedule and plot this into a diagram. That's it. Okay. Hope you have answered your question. Moving on. Okay. I want you to answer this question. MCQ question. Okay, I guess a lot of people have not understood the question. Read the question, guys. It's very simple English. All but one. Okay, all but one of the following are assumed to be remaining the same while drawing the individual demand curve for a commodity. So what they're asking is, find the one which is variable. All but one is remaining the same except for what? That is the question. We know preference of an individual is constant. We know his income levels are constant. Prices of related commodity is constant. In a demand curve, what changes, guys? Only price changes, right? So answer is C. Are we clear? You have to read the question, guys. You have to understand what they're asking. They'll ask you these kind of tricky questions. That's it. All but one of the following is assumed to remain same while drawing. Which one is it? Find which is not remaining the same. That is the question. Any doubts? Because a lot of people answered this question wrong. Any doubts in this? Only 24% got it right. So that is why I'm asking. Should I explain it again? Okay. Yeah. Done. Read this. All but one of the following are assumed to be. Just ignore this, okay? Following are assumed to remain the same. But one. Are we clear here? So which one is not constant? That is the question. It's just English here. If you understand English, you'll understand this question. So in a demand curve, law of demand, we studied everything is constant except for what? Price, right? That is why price will not remain constant in law of demand. That is the question. Are we clear? Are we clear? Any other questions? Done. I'll move on. Now, we'll bring a topic called, we'll talk a topic called expansion and contraction of demand. Right? What is this expansion or contraction of demand? I want you to understand clearly. What is this expansion? What is contraction? Very simple. Expansion of demand means is nothing but demand is quantity demanded is increasing. I'll repeat. Expansion means quantity demanded is increasing. When prices falls, quantity demanded increases. We call this term as expansion of demand. If prices increases, quantity demanded falls, we say contraction of demand. We say contraction of demand. What is expansion? Normal English terminology. Expansion means yes or no? Contraction means correct or not correct? So similarly, demand is expanding means quantity demanded is increasing. From 10 units, it is increasing to 20 units because of fall in price. Are we clear? So if you see here the diagram, let's say the original point was P. The original price was P. And the original quantity demanded was M. Original price was P. The original quantity demanded is M. I reduce the price. Now I reduce the price to this. I'll change the ink once again. I reduce the price to P. Yeah, P1. Now when I reduce the price, right? If you see here, quantity demanded increase, right? And the curve moved to downward. The curve moved downward. Are we clear? So that along the same demand curve, the curve moved. So that is why we call this as downward movement on the same demand curve. It's another name for expansion of demand. On the contrary, if you see here, if I increase the price, the quantity demanded decreases, right? There is upward movement along the same demand curve. There is upward movement along the same demand curve. That is why we call it as upward movement along the same demand curve. Are we clear? So to re-emphasize, right? To re-emphasize, if price decreases, quantity demanded increases, we call it as expansion or downward movement along the same demand curve or rise in quantity demanded. It's a different names. Okay. And vice versa when price increases and quantity demanded decreases. And understand one thing, this expansion or contraction will only happen when there is change in price alone. Can you write it in your brain itself, like, or Gajini, you write it here? Okay, bits are not allowed, but I'm telling you, write it somewhere, because put it in your mind right now. Expansion and contraction will only happen due to change in price alone. Are we clear? Now, I want you to see this video so that you'll have a graphical understanding of this.
Let's look at the demand curve again. What happens when price decreases from $2 to $1.50? Quantity increases from 1 to 2. From $1.50 to $1, quantity increases from 2 to 3. Notice that the dot just moves along this curve. In econ speak, this movement is called change in quantity demanded. When price changes, we say there's a change in quantity demanded. Remember, there are other factors affecting demand as well.
Okay, are we clear with the concept, guys? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Any questions before I move on? No questions? Done. I want you to answer this question. Please answer it. Wonderful. Okay. So the right answer is A. Sorry, B. Okay. Expansion of demand. When price falls, quantity demanded increases. Are we clear? Done. I want you to answer this other question. Please answer this other question. After this, we'll take a 15 minutes break. Yes. Okay. Done. The answer for this is B. Okay, guys. Increase in price of a good concern causes contraction. Guys, if you have a doubt and option A is not the right answer, reason being is the same number of customers can demand less. Are we clear? The same number of customers can demand less also. So this is not the case. Please do not confuse yourself with quantity demanded with the number of customers. Okay, so only the A is not the answer. Are we clear? B is the answer. Done. So what we'll do is right now it's 5:01 on my clock. We'll take a 15 minutes break. Okay. 5:15 we'll rejoin. 5:15 we will rejoin. Are we clear? Take a break, guys. Yeah, this Sujita. Sujita, where is Ramya Krishnan?
Sir, how do I know?
Your friends know, ma. I thought you will speak all fighting. Yeah, then.
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay, okay, okay. Because we tried reaching her, she was not able to. She's not picking up the call. That's why. Nitin, you have any idea? Da? So Nitin is there. Nitin came and left. Huh? Guys, any doubts, you can just type it to me. I mean, I'm 5 minutes early. So if you have any doubts with regards to academics or with registration process or CA foundation in general or life in general, just ask me. If I know, I'll tell you. If I do not know, I'll tell you I do not know. No doubts. All clear, sir. How tough is CA? How tough is to carry, what is it, 60 kgs or 70 kgs? Ashish Sharma, I'm asking you. How tough is to carry 60 to 70 kgs? Hmm? It depends, right? It's possible. Okay, possible. How tough is to carry 100, 150 kgs? Kind of tough, right? But if you go to the gym, practice every day, won't it be easy to carry that 100 kg? Similarly, right? Similarly, CA is also something like that. If you study every day, practice every day, it will be easy. If you put in required efforts, you will be able to carry it. But last moment, you don't know the gym, you are like this, you go and try to carry 150. What will happen, you know, right? So it is all about practice. It's nothing about tough or easy. Syllabus was vast. IPCC final exam, everything syllabus is vast. It's all about your preparation. If it was so tough, no, but what to say? A lot of people would have not cleared, no? People are clearing. It's about yours. You as an individual, are you ready to put in the efforts? You have 24 hours. You sleep for 8 hours, right? So another 8 hours, what you have to do? You can enjoy. Do all your day-to-day work. Another 8 hours you have. That 8 hours you study properly. I tell you, no one can stop you. Is the registration for foundation, will I get study yes, you will get your study materials now. So right now ICA has stopped that study materials. Reason being is, coronavirus. So once that is done, we inform you how to get it done and how to dispatch and all. So that will be done. Don't worry about your study material. What is ICCA? What is ICCA? You mean ACCA? ACCA means Chartered Certified Accountant of UK. Okay. The Chartered Accountant equivalent of UK. United Kingdom. London. When is the last? You have not registered. Please register, guys. Last day is June 30th. Please register. June 30th is the last day for registration with ICAI. Today is the last day. Sir, when virtual classes started? What when virtual classes started in the men's? I didn't understand. What is virtual class started? Can you explain it better? When virtual class started? Face-to-face classes will be starting, what do you say, June 1st, if everything goes well. Okay, not up to us. It is up to, what do you say, the government on it. We'll definitely try to push it. Sir, we have not yet got PU results. How can we register? Guys, you can register now. It does not matter you got your PU results or not. You can definitely register now. Please register with your hall ticket. Your PU hall ticket you would have got, right? So with that, you have to register. Okay. It does not bother about your about your PU results. Once you're cleared your PU, that time you can upload. Sir, it's difficult to study with PDF. Will we get the books? Once you come to face, yes, you will definitely get the books. Okay. Okay, guys. We'll go into the subject. Let's start. Done. Now, we saw one of the factors of demand. See, when you go to a shop, right? Let's say there is a tea shop. Will you see only the price of that? When you're going to buy a product, you will see the ambience. You will see what mood you are there. Are you in the mood for tea or coffee? Right? You will see all other factors like price of related goods, like juice. What is the price of a juice? You will see. What is your income status? What is your taste and preference? All these are things are there. A lot of parameters are there which determine demand or which affect demand. So what we call as determinants of demand is nothing but how is demand is determined. I'll repeat again. How is demand determined? We call it as determinants of demand. Are we clear? Now, demand is affected by lot of factors. That is what we are going to see one by one, how these factors are affecting demand. We'll see it. So before we move on, I want you to see a comprehensive video on this. Get a picture of it, listen to it very carefully, right? Then we'll go one by one and explain it, break it down to your syllabus.
Let's imagine we're all consumers. What makes us want to buy more apples or fewer apples? Prices. At $2, we'll say, nah, it's too expensive. Let's just get one. But if price drops to $1, we'll say, cool, let's get 3 apples now. Tastes and preferences. Hey, I saw an advert today. Apples are good for health. All of a sudden, I want to buy more apples. When tastes shift towards apples, demand for apples increases. Price of complements. We say goods are complements of each other when they are normally bought together. For example, printer and ink cartridges, or bread and jam. If bread gets cheaper, what happens to our demand for jam? Well, bread gets cheaper, We buy more bread, so we'll buy more jam. Price of substitutes. Substitutes are goods that are bought for the same purpose. For instance, Pepsi and Coke are substitutes. When price of Pepsi drops, we'll start to think, hey, let's buy fewer cans of Coke and switch to Pepsi. They're the same thing anyway. So when price of Pepsi, demand for Coke decreases. Income. You know, we all have this lust for material stuff, and we think that when we make more money, we're going to buy more of this and this and that. These goods are called normal goods. When our income increases, we want to get more normal goods like cars. There's another category of goods called inferior goods. For example, food from roadside stalls. Perhaps your income increases and think this food is inferior. You have more money, you want to eat in a restaurant now. When our income increases, we demand fewer inferior goods. Expectation of prices.
There's a drought going on in Thailand. Shortage of rice in the near future is expected.
Crap! No rice? Man, I think the price of rice is going to increase. Better go buy and stock up some rice now. So if we think future prices of rice will increase, our demand for rice today increases. Population. When the number of people on an island increases, the demand for houses increases. When population increases, demand for something will increase. So this is the summary. But hey, there are so many factors affecting demand. I'm getting confused. How do I graph the demand curve? If you like this video,
Okay, guys. So it gave you a small brief into a lot of aspects. So we'll break it one by one. The first one here we have to see is price of related commodities. How does it affect demand? So let's try to understand what is related commodity. Related commodities are of two types. One is complementary goods. What is complementary goods? Complementary goods means goods which are used together, or bought together. Okay. For example, milk, sugar, right? Pen, ink. These are complementary goods. The other type of related goods is substitute goods. What is substitute goods? When two goods are there which can satisfy the same want, then these goods are classified as substitute goods. For example, Pepsi and Coke. What is Pepsi satisfying? What is Coke satisfying? The want of thirst, right? The want of thirst, or it is satisfying cool drinks needing. So we call these goods as substitute goods. Or even you can take it as pen, ballpoint pen and ink pen. Both are used for writing, right? So goods which are used for satisfying the same wants, right? Goods which compete to satisfy the same wants, we call it as substitute goods. Are we clear, guys? Now we are going to see how the price of a complementary goods or substitute goods going to affect the demand. We'll see it here. Now we'll take a very simple example. Pen and ink. Pen and ink are complementary goods in nature. Yes or no? When you use pen, you're going to use ink. They are bought together. Now let me say prices of pen are going to fall down. Prices of pen are going to fall down. Now, if pen prices falls down, what will happen to the demand of ink? These kind of questions are expected for you. If pen prices falls down, won't I buy more of pen? Yes or no? I'll buy more of this pen. If I buy more of pen, won't I consume more of ink? So can I say if price of complementary goods goes down, demand rises? Demand rises. So reverse also can hold true. When prices of pen goes up, prices of pen goes up, demand for ink comes down. So the written rule is prices of prices of complementary goods affect the demand. Okay. Here also, if you see, they are inversely proportionate. If prices of complementary goods increases, demand for the good decreases. So we call it as inverse relationship. Are we clear here, guys? Any doubts here? Any doubts? No doubts? No doubts? Okay. Another way to hack. Okay. Now there's another way to hack this. Oh, there's a cheat code for it. Let's say. Now assume this pen price to be 10, or let's take it as 100. Why? We'll buy a Parker pen itself. No, 100 rupees will take. Now the price of ink is 10. Let's say the total prices is what? 110 here. 110. If the two goods are consumed together, we know. Now let's say the prices of pen is coming down to 90. To 90. Now what will happen to the total price? Will come down. So I told you both are bought together. Both are bought together. So from 110, it has come to 100. So won't the demand increase? This is another way to find out for you. Okay. We'll do more sums under this, right, in the future, so that you will get used to it. Are we clear? Now, moving on, we'll see the substitute goods. Substitute goods, Pepsi and Coke we'll take. Now, both will satisfy the same want of thirst. Let's say price of substitute goods. Now, I am consuming as a consumer, sometimes I'll consume 10 Pepsis, 10 Cokes. I consume 10 Pepsis and 10 Cokes. Now, price of Pepsi is falling down. Price of Pepsi is falling down. What will happen to the demand of Coke? Tell me. As a consumer, I will shift from here to Pepsi. Reason being is this is cheaper. Pepsi is cheaper now. Yes or no? That is what happens. So if you see here, we will see another example. If price of Pepsi is increasing, what will happen? From Pepsi, I'll start to consume Coke more. So demand will increase. So can I say if there is a rise in the substitute goods, a rise in the price of substitute goods, my demand will increase. Okay. And one more thing, note it, increase. Right? There is an increase in price of a substitute good. There is increase in demand for our good. There is a direct relationship. We call it as a direct relationship. Are we clear here? If there is an increase, there is a decrease, we call it as inverse relationship. Because there is a price increase and there is a increase in demand also, we call this as a direct relationship. Are we clear, guys, here? So I've just jotted down. We'll again revise it through this itself. Still, after this also you have a doubt, I'll clarify. Right? Complementary goods. Related goods are two types, complementary and substitute goods. Okay. Now, When is a complement? What is a complementary good? When goods are consumed together or simultaneously. We saw certain examples: automobiles, petrol, pen and ink, tea and sugar. Right? If price of one thing falls, that will cause the demand for the other to increase. Are we clear with complementary? Price of one thing falls, the demand of the other good will increase. There is an inverse relationship between demand for a good. Note it. There's an inverse relationship between demand for the good and the price of its complement. Price of the complement. Okay. So ink's demand, right? There's a inverse relationship between ink demand and price of the pen. That's what they are saying here. Now, moving on to substitute goods, or I can also call them as competing goods, because they compete to satisfy the same wants. So what are they? They satisfy the same wants and can be used easily in place of another. We saw examples like ink pen, ball pen, ink and coffee. Now, what happens here? How is demand affected here? Listen very carefully. If prices falls down, price of one thing falls down, it leads to a fall in a quantity demanded of its substitute. If prices falls down, that is here, let's say prices of ink pen falls down, the quantity demanded of its substitute is what? Ball pen. There's a fall in the quantity demand of ball pen. Are we clear, guys? So there is a fall, rise. There is a direct or positive relationship between demand for a product and price of the substitute. Are we clear? There's a positive relationship between demand for a product. So demand for a product, let's say, and price of the goods. It's a direct. So if price, ink pen falls down, price of ink pen falls down, demand for ball pen also falls. There's a direct relationship. Are we clear? Any questions? Any questions? If you have a questions, very small questions, we'll do some sums. Still you have questions. We will while solving the sum, we'll do that graph and all. We'll solve it. Okay. Any major doubts, if you have not understood at all, then ask me. Gautam, we will do it once we do a sum. We'll do one sum of it. Question. Still you are not understood, I'll explain it to you in detail. For me, no issues. Okay. Now I want you to answer this question. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't turn on my video. Should have told me. Okay. Anyway, so a lot of people are not seeing my face. Which of the following is a pair of example of substitute goods? Substitute. Okay, done. The answer is tea and coffee. Okay, they are substitute goods. Guys, two people have answered shirt and trouser. How are they? I don't know about you guys. You wear shirt, you won't wear trousers. Huh? Sir, both are covering the body, sir. That's enough, huh? You have to wear shirt and trouser, guys. When you're coming to face class, Please wear shirt and trouser. Thank you. Oh, never mind. I want you to answer this question. Read the question, answer it. The price of Pepsi decreases relative to the price of Coke, 7-Up, demand for dash film. Take your time, then answer. Take your time. Take a pencil, paper, draw. Draw it very carefully. I will show you when I'm working out this. I will draw. So when you draw it, you will be able to understand it better. Don't put it here. Put it on the paper. Sir, can I change my answer? I mean, this tool does not allow you to change your answer. But whatever you know your answer, right? Just keep that in mind. That's it. And one more thing. So once you mark the answer in the exam hall, you cannot unmark it. So this is a very important lesson for you guys also. Are we clear? Double, you don't answer it. Wait for it, read it, then answer it. You'll be better at that. Pepsi, Coke. Okay. We'll try to solve this. I'll solve it along with you. Read the question carefully. If price of Pepsi decreases relative to the price of Coke and 7-Up, the demand, what will happen to the demand? So and they are asking. Now, there are 3 products. Pepsi, Coke, and 7-Up. I am assuming that all are sold at 10 rupees or are sold at 10 rupees now. What are they saying? If the price of Pepsi decreases, now I am saying price of Pepsi is going to decrease to 1 second, 5 rupees. Price of Pepsi is going to decrease to 5 rupees. Now, think about yourself. You are the consumer, right? You are the consumer. Will I buy Coke? Will I buy Pepsi? Or will I buy 7-Up? Before what? I didn't mind. I can buy Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up, all are 10. Pepsi prices fallen down. What will happen to the demand? They're asking. So, Coke, demand for Coke will decrease. They are saying demand for Coke will decrease. Yes, correct answer. 7-Up demand will also decrease. Yes, this is also correct answer only. There's no wrong answer. But Coke and 7-Up's demand will increase. No, this is wrong answer. Now, Coke and 7-Up's demand will decrease. Yes. Now, think about it. This includes the right answer. See, this is not, the statement is not wrong. But which of the following is more appropriate? This says the correct picture. That is Coke and 7-Up demand will decrease. So that is why answer is D. Answer is D. Are we clear? Are we clear, guys? Now, as everyone understood, Gautam, especially you, have you understood substitute goods? How to solve it? Have clarity? We'll be doing more sums later period, not now. But have everyone understood how to solve it? Any questions? Any questions? Anyone? No questions? Because I'm going to move on. Okay, I'll move on. Now, the second point we saw was income of a consumer. Income of a consumer, right? How does it affect? That is what we are going to see. Now, you saw it in the video also. Income of a consumer differently. Income, right? As a general rule, understand. Is it clear now? Voice is breaking, they're saying. Okay, now it should be. No, that someone unmuted, so there was hissing sound. Now it's clear, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Now, coming to the point, income of a consumer, right? It is also increase in one demand and leads to decrease in another. Gautam, what are you referring to? Okay, if it's related to income of demand, let me of a consumer, I'll explain it to you in detail. Now, income of a consumer talks about purchasing power. Okay, how much purchasing power I have? Are we clear? Now, it depends upon the nature of the good also. Nature of the good. What is nature of the good? That's what we are going to study. So if income increases, right? It depends upon the nature. Lakshmi started. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks for telling me. Gautam, I'll come to you. Okay. Now, income is represented as Y in economics. Okay. I'll be writing as Y going forward. Income is represented as Y. Now, if income increases, right, demand of the commodity, what happens? Increases or decreases? This question cannot be directly answered. It depends upon the nature of the commodity. It depends upon the nature of the commodity. Now, first, let's see the first nature. That is normal goods. These are normal goods. When income increases, right, demand also increases for these kind of goods. We classify these goods as normal goods. I'll repeat once again. If income increases and demand increases, we call these goods as normal goods. Are we clear? If income increases, demand increases, we call these goods as normal goods. For example, clothing, automobiles, consumer durables, semi-durables, phones, and all. Understand, these are not strict classifications. These are assumptions. For example, I'll further tell you. Now, I give you what is important for you, water or diamond? If I ask you right now, you will tell me, sir, I want diamond now because I can sell it better. Okay. Now what I will do is I'll do Jim Boomba, right? I'll put it in a desert. Okay. There's no water for 3 days. 3 days, no water. Then I come and ask you, you want diamond or water? You will say, sir, I would have been dead by 3 days, but I'm just giving an example here. What would you say? You would say, I want water, right? So the same person at different time situation demands differently. So similarly, these things are different to different people, have different versions of it, right? What is normal for you might be luxurious for others. What is luxurious for you might be inferior for others, right? You will understand what I am saying once we finish all these things, but keep this in mind. Moving on, essential goods. Essential goods. Now, imagine you have passed CA. From CA articleship, right? You have to go and work as a articleship. You have completed CA. You have given promotion, right? You are like collar all up. You'll be like putting collar up. You'll be coming and talking, right? Will you buy salt more, even though you have got promotion? You'll buy the same quantity of salt, right? Because you have become, your income has increased. Will you buy more water? Not necessary, right? That is what this classification is also talking about. That is, see, when income increases, demand might increase, but it will increase in a less proportionate. Will increase in a less proportionate. Less proportionate means in a lesser manner. Are we clear? Lesser proportionate. For example, food grain, fuel, cooking oil, clothes. Because you got promotion, will you go and buy more clothes? Yeah, luxurious. Some certain clothes you might more buy, but almost you are okay. Will you buy more bunions because you got promotion? You will buy okay, normal, right? So these are essential goods. When your income increases, demand will increase, but will increase in a small margin. We classify these goods as essential goods. Now, coming to the third one, inferior goods. What are these inferior goods? When income increases, demand for these goods fall down. I'll repeat myself. When income increases, that is why increases, demand for these goods fall down. You'll be scratching. Why would this happen? Let me explain it to you. Understand. While you're doing your CA articleship or you're going for college, how did you go? By bus, metro, or auto, right? You used to take a bus, sweating and all is happening. Still you go, you come and attend classes and go back. Okay. You have to buy bus ticket. Wonderful. Now you got promotion. You will be like, from one second, internet is not stable. Is it clear now? It was showing for me it's not stable. 1 second. Yeah. Now I get promotion, right? You get promotion, what you'll do? You'll be like, that economics sir told, car is not my demand. I'll buy that car, right? I'll buy that car and show him what I am. You'll buy that car and you'll start driving the car and going to your office place, right? Now what happened here, my friends? Understand, your income increased, demand for the car increased. But what happened to the demand for the bus? That is the public transport. Didn't the demand fall? Didn't the demand fall? So these goods, we classify them as inferior goods. Are we clear? Are we clear, guys? These goods, we classify them as inferior goods. For example, let's say you are eating in that roadside shop, right? Because you had less money. You have to go and buy pani puri from the road shop. 10 rupees tasty pani puri you had. Yum. Next day you got diarrhea. That's a different story. Now, once you got promoted, more income came. You will be like, I'm from high class, guys. I don't eat from there. Let's go to Adyar Bakery or something like that. You'll go to Ananda Bhavan or you will go to MTR, right? Go to a very posh shop and have, here, $100, give me a pani puri. So demand for the roadside shop fell and the costly restaurant demand increases. So the roadside shop demand decrease. So those kind of goods are known as inferior goods. Are we clear? Are we clear? Now, fourth one, luxurious and prestige goods. Let's try to understand this. Will you buy gold? When you are earning 50,000, will you buy gold or jewelry? You get promoted. You want to gift your girlfriend, or boyfriend. You wanted to gift them earrings or something. He will be like, I itself do not have money where to go and buy. Once you are becoming CA, you'll be like this. You're going. Now you want to give. When will you give? After a certain level of income. Let's say you are 50,000, you will not buy. After 1 lakh, yes, I'm earning per month 1 lakh. I'm rich enough. I'll buy gold. So those goods are known as luxurious goods. Beyond a certain income level, your demand will keep on increasing. These goods are known as luxurious goods. Are we clear, guys, with this? Now, coming back to the classification, I told you in the beginning itself, these are not strict classification. Let's say you buy a Maruti car, right? Maruti 800, Mad Mobile. You might think that's a very good car. That's a luxurious goods for you. For Ambani, understand, Maruti car is not good. It's an inferior good for him. Yes or no? That is why I'm saying you cannot classify a product into any of these things. For a person to person, place to place, everything will change. But one thing you can classify is if income increases, demand increases, they are normal goods. If income increases, demand falls, these are inferior goods. These things you can say. Are we clear? Any questions? Any questions before I move on? Because we are going to do sums. I want any questions, I'll take it. Gautam, I have your question in mind. I'll this thing, class, give it. Example, automobiles, your car. That's a normal good. Let's take it as. Right? Mobile phones. When your income increases, normally you buy good mobile phones, right? That's an example of a normal good. But these are still, again, not very strict definitions. Your income increases, your demand increases, these goods are classified as normal goods. Are we clear? There's nothing to do with the type of the goods. It's to do with income and demand to classify as normal or inferior. Now, we'll do a sum. Please do the sum. Yes. Please solve the sum. Sir, in 3 cases, demand increases. Okay, Medha, I'll come to your question. Okay, everyone has answered. Correct. It is a income increases the quantity demand of the good, decreases the good is called as inferior good. Okay, correct answer. C is the correct answer. On May has asked a very good question stating that, sir, in case of normal goods, in case of essential goods, in case of what is say luxurious goods, in three cases demand is increasing only with income. How do I differentiate it? Very good question. Now, guys, understand this. For a normal good, if income increases, demand will also increase. We know. Okay. For essential goods, I told you, if income increases, demand will increase, but will increase in a very less proportionate. They will give it in your question itself. Okay. Or you can also what to say, understand it logically also, like sugar, salt. They'll ask you that kind of question, which your mind should trigger. Okay, they are talking about essential goods. In luxurious goods, I told you, beyond a certain level only of income only, these goods will increase. Up to a certain point, this demand for luxurious goods will not be there. Beyond a certain income level, then only income will increase. And these things will be mentioned in your questions. Okay, they'll give you clue, so don't worry about that. And one more important point, guys, I forgot to mention, that is, now I always told income increases, demand increases, it's normal goods. What happens? Income falls. Income falls. What happens? Demand falls. What are these goods? Vice versa also holds true for all these things. Okay, vice versa also holds true for all these things. So income falls, demand falls, then we call it as normal goods. Income falls, demand increases, then we call it as inferior goods. Are we getting the opposite reaction also? Done. Can we answer this question, please? Yes. Can we answer this question? Read it very carefully. Want everyone to participate. Please participate, guys. Unless you answer, think right now, you will not get into the mood of thinking in the exam hall or in the practice. Practice right now itself. Answer it as fast as possible. At the same time, breathe everything. Okay. The price of tomato increases. Okay. People buy tomato puree. You infer tomato puree and tomatoes are substitute goods. That's the answer, guys. Okay. We are replacing tomato puree with tomato. These are substitute goods. Okay. They are not complementary. Are you using tomato and tomato puree together? No. So they are not complementary. There's nothing to do with income and price. You have nothing to do with income and price. What is the demand? So this is the answer. C is the answer. No. Moving on. taste and preferences. Okay, we'll see how taste and preferences affect consumer demand. Now, if you like something, right, or there is fashion towards something, more fashion or more taste to some product, demand will generally be higher. So let's say there is a pizza, they put paneer, chicken, and all, and they give it to you. You'll be like, wonderful pizza, I like it, I'll buy more of it. Let's say they take the same pizza, they put vegetables, spinach, and all those things, and gave it to you. I'm like, what the heck is this pizza? Right? If you do not like the taste, demand will be lesser. That is how taste. Preferences will be affected also. Let's say you prefer to buy something in red in color. You like the taste of sugar. You'll buy more sugary stuff. So based on your preferences also, demand will get affected. Now, one more thing, this is more of psychological things. Preferences, taste, and all those things. It is developed, right? By what? People in India or people in America, let's say, Americans eat burgers. We like to eat rice or chapati. Because we see someone doing it, it becomes our taste. Or we live in a society which influences our mind, right? So someone demonstrating or someone seeing, we get affected. So economics has given a name as a demonstration effect or bandwagon effect. Your demand will get affected by seeing someone. We call it as demonstration effect or bandwagon effect. Your friends are doing something, right? They're all going for a party. You'll be like, all my friends are going for a party, even I want to go. Right? You're seeing someone and you're getting affected. You did not have a demand for party, but someone is doing it. So seeing it, you also want to join it. So indirectly, by seeing someone, your demand is getting affected. That is point number one. Point number two, this demonstration effect can be of two types. One is snob effect. Another one is Veblen effect. Let's understand what is snob effect. Snob effect is nothing but when a thing becomes too common. When a thing becomes too common, you altogether stop its consumption. For example, let's say everyone is wearing red shirt. Everyone is wearing red shirt only. You want to be different or not? Yes or no? By seeing everyone, hey, everyone is wearing the same red shirt, man, so boring. It's too mainstream. I do not want to go into mainstream. I want to be unique, right? So what? That is snob effect. Because a product becomes too common, I don't want it. That effect is called as snob effect. What is Veblen effect? Veblen effect is when a good is priced very high, right? Or it is bought by status seeking symbol. No, there is a painting where someone throws a color and it splashes 3-4 colors. When you look at it, you'll be like, for this 1 crore, who will pay? Right? But there are people who go and pay it, right? I will draw better, you will say. But you do not understand that is a Veblen effect which is taking place. People that buy that product for status seeking, for their attention seeking. They are attention seeking products. They buy that, they feel like, get the feeling, ma. Okay? That is why they buy that. So that effect is known as Veblen effect. Are we clear here, guys? Guys, one more thing. Conspicuous. What is the meaning of conspicuous? Means attention seeking. Okay? Something which is attention seeking. Conspicuous means. Are we clear? Any doubts? Now, moving on. Consumer expectation. Consumer expectation. I'm a consumer, right? I expect the prices to go high. What will I do? Or let me bring it down to your level. Let's say I have a bike. I have a bike, right? Now I need to fill in petrol for this. Now news comes, states that boss, petrol price is going to increase tomorrow. What will you do today? You'll go and immediately fill in the petrol. Yes or no? What happens to demand? You expect the prices to increase tomorrow, so your demand today increases. Are we clear? Are we clear? So expectation of the consumer also affects the buyer. Now, let's say Modi ji comes, says, tomorrow lockdown, Metron, tomorrow is lockdown. हमारा देश है lockdown है. He says, what will you do? You feel that supply will come down. There will be less of supply of rice or your necessary commodities. What do? You run. Social distancing, what? I want food. You'll run and buy. Yes or no? Your expectation affects the demand for today. One more example. Let's say you're going to get promotion. You get the news from October you're going to get promoted. Congratulations. So you will think, okay, from October I'll get promoted. What I'll do is I'll buy this AC and all in EMI. I'll have the enough money to pay that time when I get promoted. So your demand gets increased. So depending upon your needs, right, or your expectation of prices, income, supply conditions, your demand will get affected. Are we clear, guys, with this concept? And other factors are also there. So these many factors are there. I want you to do homework here. Every one, what I want you to do is how each and everything affects demand. Does it affect positive or affect negative? I want each and everything you to do a homework for. I want you to do a homework for me. Are we clear? I want you to analyze how demand is affected because of other factors. Write it down in a book and take a photo and put it on the WhatsApp group. I'll be seeing each and every one. Okay. This is a self-discipline mechanism. I won't follow you up. I want you to do it as a discipline mechanism. Are we clear? Done. Class is 6. Now the time is 6:07. What I'll do is we'll answer 2 more questions and we'll be done for the day. I had kept certain things more to be completed today. Anyhow, we went a little bit slow on that. So Varun, words are not clear. So this is a homework, Varun. What I told you, the other factors, it's a homework for you. Take a photo and give it to me. So classes, someone has asked, class is still 7. No, class is still 6 only. We have 2 more sums. We'll finish this and we'll wrap it up. Can we do this? Can we solve this question? Yes. Please solve this question, guys. What will happen to the price if the buyer is expecting the higher price in your future? Guys, understand here, very important. what happens in the rice market if the buyers are expecting a higher price in the near future. In the near future, that is 2 to 3 days after, they are thinking the price of rice will increase. If that is going to increase, what will happen to the demand of today? If you think logically, okay, tomorrow it will become costlier. Let me go and buy it today itself. That is what will happen. Demand for rice will increase. Option A is the right answer. 86 people have got it right. Okay. Last question for the day. After this, we'll wind up. Okay. Otherwise, I'll get Lati charge. All of the following are determined. Except. Very easy question. Oh, income is also a determinants of demand. Whoever answered that. But simply are ticking, some people. Mulpriya, yes. Ama. But pada. Who said that? Okay, the answer is quantity supplied will not come under determinants of demand. Okay, taste and preferences, we saw, I don't know, 2 people wantedly answered that. Determinants of demand, guys, taste and preference will come, income will come, price of related commodities will come under taste and determinants of demand. We saw that right here. The first page itself, see, everything comes under determinants. Okay, guys, we'll wind it up for today, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Yes, that's all for today's class. If you have any questions, just ask me. Can you bring clarify to your homework? It's very simple, ma. This is there, right? Other factors. I want you to do as homework. That's it. How will demand, let's say, size of the population, right? That you have to, if size of the population increases, what will happen to demand? If it decreases, what will happen to demand? I want you to answer. That's all. That's the homework. Okay. There is any difference between real income and income? See, real income is an arbitrary term. Okay. Income is what your income is. Real income represents purchasing power. Purchasing power. Understand this. Let's say your income is 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees. You can see what I'm writing. You need not write it down. I'm just telling you. Someone asked the question. I'm just clarifying it. Okay. Now, 1,000 rupees. Now, an apple is priced at 100 rupees. Let's say, assume. Now, how many apples can I buy from 1,000 rupees? 10 apples. Right? Now, prices of apples fall down to 50 rupees. Now I can buy 20 apples. So my purchasing power increased from 10 to 20. Right. This is what we call it as, there is an increase in our purchase power or increase in real income. As if our income is increased, it is giving a very fake effect. Okay, that is why we call it as real income. Understand, purchasing power is equal to real income for now. Yes, Ashish Sharma. So supply also determines demand, right? If supply increases, demand decreases. No. Supply does not determine demand. Okay. Ashish Sharma, wrong. Do we write down the home? Yeah, you need to write down the homework, take a picture and put it on the group. Sir, any idea on the last day of, it's not CPT, it's CA Foundation. It's June 30th. Okay, it's June 30th. Where is Gautam? Gautam? Okay, listen here. Very simple. Now, let's say ink pen and ball pen. Okay, they are both are substitutes, right? Now, let's say both are priced at 10 rupees. What the question is saying is, if I reduce the price of ink pen, if I reduce the price, what will happen to the demand of ballpoint pen? You are the consumer. What will you do? You will say, boss, I get ink pen for 5 rupees. I have to pay ballpoint pen for 10 rupees. Why would I do that? I'll buy ink pen itself. So, decrease in the price of a substitute good will impact the demand of a good. That is what they are saying. So, if substitute price decreases, the demand for your product will also decrease. This is the substitution. Okay, effect. Hope I have cleared your doubt, Gautam. If you have any other doubt, just ask me again. I'll clarify. No issues. Sir, what was the foreign term used in law of demand? Ceteris paribus. Magical term, that is called ceteris paribus. That means other things become remaining constant. We saw, no, law of demand says price goes up, demand, quantity demand comes down. This will only work when your income level, your taste and preference, your other things are all constant. If they are changing, then this law will not work. That is why they say ceteris paribus. Okay, Gautam. So increase in demand of ink leads to decrease in demand of ballpoint pen. See, that is a consequence. Okay, but that you cannot say like that, Gautam. You cannot say it like that. Decrease in price of ink will lead to decrease in demand of pen. That is how you have to say. Decrease, I'll repeat, decrease in price of ink leads to decrease in demand of pen. Are we clear? The videos will be out. Just go through the videos again. See it. And still you have a doubt? I am always there. You know it. Is any other questions? If you have no questions, you can leave, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. You can't say it that way, but that is wrong. Wrong way of saying it. Reason being is, let's say increase in demand of ink can be due to ink. See, let's say population of a population of people who are writing are also increasing. Gautam. Okay, you have asked me increase in demand of ink leads to decrease in demand of ballpoint pen. I'll give you one case. Population itself is increasing. Okay, lockdown is there. Everyone in population is increasing, left and right and center. Everyone wants to buy a pen and pencil for their kids, right? Now, demand for ink pen will also increase. Demand for ball pen also will increase, right? So can I say because income of demand of ink pen increase, there'll be a decrease in ball pen? No, I can't say it like that. That's a wrong conclusion. I can't conclude like that. Are we clear? The price and the demand of the other product only can be related. Demand and demand of a product cannot be related. Okay, done. Hey Surya, studying sitting படிக்கிறியாடா சூர்யா? Sudarshan, studying. Very important. Study, guys. Exams are August. Don't give up. Good. Others, if you have no issues, you can leave. Exit the group. If you have questions, then I'll be there. If you have no questions, you can leave. No questions? Everyone? Bye bye. Take care. See on YouTube or see any questions. Okay, guys, bye.